Kawinganawal, Mindashin Z, B SHAWN CLARK. You're probably wondering why I am speaking in Lunaape. Good question. Here's the answer. It does have something to do with the 3-day novel writing contest, and I'll get back to that in just a moment. But today is Thursday, September the 3rd, 2020. It is, well, I guess it was a Thursday 1 year ago, the Thursday before the Labor Day weekend, that I first found out about the 3-day novel writing contest. I was informed about it, I think, from Submittable. That's a mouthful. And it was, I'm in Florida, and it was right as a hurricane was approaching, Hurricane Dorian. So what better time to decide to embark upon a feverish attempt to write a novel over a 3-day period of time than with a hurricane bearing down on you. So you can imagine me there and furiously typing, whoosh, wind flowing, you know, it's not flowing, it's, well, I mean, I'm over dramatizing, of course, but Dorian hooked a right and actually was a very destructive storm, but in the Bahamas it really did a lot of damage, but it didn't do any here. But anyway, I digress as usual. When I found out about the 3-day novel writing contest on Thursday last year, I had an outline already, and there's a long story that I won't bore you with too much. But the result was a book, this one, called Red Wolf. That's not the cover art yet. This is now a year old, this manuscript, and it will be coming out next year, I suppose. So anyway, the way the novel, the 3-day contest works, it's not really a contest, it's more like a challenge to yourself to write a book in 72 hours. This idea was dreamed up by a couple of drunken Vancouver writers. I say drunken, I'm sure they won't mind me saying that, and I'm going to read from the website about the history, and that will give you a better idea of the genesis of the 3-day novel writing contest. In 1977, a handful of restless Vancouver writers accepted the challenge to write a novel over the Labor Day long weekend. No one finished, and no one was eager to expose their hasty efforts to the scrutiny of others. Yet, though there had been no offspring, a beast was born, and soon it arose again, demanding recognition and celebration of its existence. In true pioneering spirit, the call went out, the gauntlet went down, and the 3-day novel contest was on its way to becoming the cheeky and uncompromising rebel of literary forms that it is today. From its modest beginnings as a barroom challenge, it grew to attract the interest and support of neophyte and seasoned writers alike. From Canada, the US, and beyond. Now, more than 3 decades later, when was this written? It has become a unique contribution to world... It has become a unique contribution to world literary history, and a put your keyboard where your mouth is rite of passage for hundreds of writers every year. Okay, so they definitely know how to write good copy for themselves, anyway. Not to denigrate the contest, because I am now an adherent myself to the 3-day novel writing contest, which brings me to today's video. You'll notice, you probably already noticed and have read the t-shirt I'm wearing. Why am I wearing this t-shirt in particular? It is a t-shirt that I got while hiking in the Annapurna mountain range in the Himalayas, and it's called Poon Hill. To them, Poon Hill is a little hill because in the Himalayas they boast, in Nepal, they boast 7 of the top 10 highest mountains in the world, and so Poon Hill, which doesn't feel like a hill to me. It's like what is it, like only a mere 2,000, 20,000 feet above the planet Earth or whatever. Why am I bringing this up now? Well, before we went to Nepal to go hiking, I had to do some training. I say we because it was me and my girlfriend. We both needed to do training. We live in Florida, and it's very flat in Florida, so it was really hard to find a place that had like a hill that we could climb up and down. And I ended up, but I did do training, and I went hiking almost every day, at least 2 or 3 miles a day. Then going up and up, I would see a ditch and I'd walk down the ditch, up the ditch, try to get things going. And we did find a mountain in Georgia that we hiked, and so on and so forth. I was in training. We were in training to get ready for this hike in the Himalayas. It's a good thing we did. So, what does that have to do with the Lunaape language and Red Wolf and a 3-day novel writing contest? Oh, okay. Well, I'm in training now, and I have been for the past few days, because having experienced it once, you have to plan for it a little bit. Not only do you write your outline, which I got around here somewhere, you also prepare for it by thinking about your sleeping patterns, your eating patterns, because you have 72 hours. And a lot of us are not college kids that are, I have my morning coffee, and I take vitamin B12 and stuff to try and get things going. But pulling an all-nighter 3 days in a row, is that the idea? So anyway, I've been training, and which brings me to today. Right now, it's already 8 o'clock. It's already 8 o'clock in the morning. I got up at 5, because, which I normally don't do, but I've been training myself to do that, going to sleep earlier and getting up at 5 in the morning, or at least I had the intent to. Today was the first morning when I actually woke up at 5 and couldn't go back to sleep, and I was like, oh, okay, so I got up. So my plan, my evil plan, was I would go to bed early on Friday, and then I would wake up, because the contest starts Friday at midnight. Friday at midnight, Labor Day weekend, I was going to go to bed early, which for me is like 10 o'clock, and then I would wake up at 5, so that would give me a long night's sleep. For me, it's not very long at all. And then I would wake up at 5, and then I could like spend all day, all morning, and all afternoon and into the evening before I became exhausted, writing. And I had it planned out throughout the weekend. Every day I would go to bed early, get up early, write, and so on. So I've been in training to do that. I also know that for myself, if I'm really in the zone and I'm really cranking, I can type 1,000 words an hour. I shouldn't say I can write, because I'm writing something. I'm writing a novel. So 1,000 words an hour. So you do the math. And originally, or at least last year, they said that the the hope is that you write a 40,000 word novel, which 40,000 words is not very big. So fortunate. That's fortunate for us. 40,000 words is the size of I think Lord of the Flies, is Call of the Wild. I think those are right around 50, 60, between 50 and 60, something like that. Don't hold me to it. You can actually Google it and find out. But 40,000 is not really a novel. It's probably considered more of a novella. And if you do it in, do the math. If I'm really flowing and I can do 1,000 words an hour, then then you have a 40,000 word novel stretched over a 72-hour period. That really doesn't leave a lot of time for sleeping, and eating and doing other things, like going to the bathroom or what have you, take a shower. Maybe you're just gonna have to not take a shower, but anyway, you get my drift. That's a really tall order, and so when I did it before last year, and I wrote Red Wolf, I really didn't plan it out that much. But I did. I was very diligent about staying focused and writing it and following the little outline that I had. And the end result was, I think it's pretty good. I think it's really good. I had like 2 people tell me that already. One of whom was my girlfriend, and she said, "But I like Red Wolf." It's 17,500 words. 17,000, which is less than half the 40,000 word count that you're trying to get to. So this is it would be barely a novelette, I think is the term for it. But here's my point. Yes, there is one. There is a point that if you're this is actually good writing, but the thing is that it's good because I wasn't going crazy trying to, I was focusing in on quality, not quantity. So I think it's really almost impossible to write a really good 40,000 word novel over a 72 hour period of time, because we are only human after all, as the song goes, and your quality is going to suffer. And as you go along, you're going to taper off. You're gonna, you're like this at the home stretch, going like this, going, "Oh, my brain is now mush," because of lack of sleep, lack of just rest, rest meaning resting your brain and everything else. Okay. Now I see, in looking at the contest, I'm looking at the website right now. You can look at it yourself. It's the number 3daynovel.com, and I swear they've changed the rules. They say now, and I quote, "The contest exists to help you write the novel you want. So, you may write in any genre, on any subject you wish. There are no limits to the novel's length, but entries average 100 typed pages, double-spaced, thereabouts. Length is a factor in judging, but it is only one of many. You may use whichever font type you like, blah, 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 blah." Okay, so, that's not 40,000. 100 pages is not 40,000 words. And if you, depending, now a lot of times people ask me, like, "Red Wolf, how many pages is it?" And really, I can't answer that question. I tell them, "Oh, it's 17,000 500 words, and then they look at me like, what does that mean? They don't understand. Well, how many pages? You know, well, okay, it's as many pages as you want it to be. I can put, you know, depends on the font size and the spacing. Actually, it does depend on the font size. If you go Google that, you'll find out that if you change the font size from Times Roman to Arial, you actually lose 10 pages. You know, a lot, or 5 pages, or how many it is. But it is significant. So 100. Now I find out. Here's Thursday. Before I'm doing all this training. Oh, how can I get up to 40,000? I'm gonna have to get up at 5 a.m. I'm gonna have to, you know, do all these things. I'm gonna not be able to go to beach yoga. Or I love beach yoga in the morning because I don't have time. But I'm going to make time because 100 pages. They do say average. 100 pages is about Times New Roman, double spaced. It's about 20,000. It's about 20,000 words, which is half what they said before, and it's more close to what I did last year. So, after all this training, I'm wondering, well, maybe I should skip that. But it might be too late because now my sleep patterns are a different way. But anyway, this is episode number 1. I'm going to be checking in with you from time to time. I'm going to see if I can go live, but probably not because I don't know how to do that. But if I can, I will. And that'll be really interesting for you to watch someone with their back turned to you going like this, and then getting up and groaning like this. And what I do is I tend to pace. I'll pace for a while, but then I go, and then I look at my word count as I'm going. And anyway, that's fascinating. I know. That's all I have for you for this episode. It's Thursday morning, almost 8:30, and it's time for another round of some coffee and maybe a shot of B12. Anishi.